In this video, I'll show you how to access the mode control actuator in a 4th generation Kia Sportage. This actuator controls the airflow direction inside your vehicle, switching between the floor, face and defrost vents when you change the mode settings on the climate control panel. If your air is not switching between vents properly and you hear a clicking or tapping sound from behind the dashboard, it is likely that the mode control actuator has failed and needs to be replaced. The actuator in this vehicle is located on the passenger side behind the glove box area. So we will have to remove the glove box housing to access the mode control actuator. Before getting started, make sure your ignition is off and disconnect the negative battery terminal for safety. Start by removing the crash pad undercover beneath the glove box. Press the two locking tabs near the front edge and pull the panel downward. Then slide it toward you to remove it from its rear hooks. Next, open the glove box and remove all items inside. Detach the stoppers by twisting them counterclockwise. And unclip the damper arm on the side. Tilt the glove box downward and remove the hinge pins to fully detach it. Just push the end of the pin and it will come straight out. You can now remove the glove box. With the glove box out of the way, you can get a quick look at the mode control actuator sitting on the side of the HVAC housing. You can see it through this opening, but you will not be able to remove it from here. To access it properly, you will have to take out the entire glove box housing. Now before you can take out the glove box housing, you will have to remove the long trim piece that runs across the dashboard. There are hidden screws behind it. And to remove this trim, we will have to loosen the center console top cover. First, make sure the parking brake is engaged or place wheel chocks at one of the tires. Then remove the shift release button cap using a flathead screwdriver. Press the button and move the shifter into the neutral position. This step will give you more room to work. Next, loosen the upper cover of the center console by gently pulling up the panel near the armrest. You will hear a few clips popping loose as you go along. You do not have to remove it completely, just lift it slightly to create enough clearance to work with the long trim piece. Once that's done, move over to the passenger side of the dashboard. There is a small side panel near the door that hides a screw securing the trim. Pull back the rubber weather strip along the door frame just enough to expose the edge of the panel. Use a plastic trim tool or flathead screwdriver to gently pry it outward from the small notch near the bottom. The panel is held in with clips, so apply firm but steady pressure until it pops free. After removing the side panel, you will see a screw near the upper corner. Go ahead and remove that screw using a Phillips head screwdriver. Now the long trim itself is held in with clips along its length. There are two clips on the side. Use a trim tool to release them first. Once those are free, continue along the rest of the trim piece, releasing each clip until the entire garnish comes off. Now that the long trim is out of the way, we can move on to removing the glove box housing. You will notice that the housing is secured with several screws and bolts. There are 2 screws along the top edge, 3 screws on the side, and 4 10mm bolts along the bottom edge. Start by removing the screws using a Phillips head screwdriver. Then use a 10mm socket wrench to remove all the bolts. Once all the screws and bolts are out, the glove box housing will still be held in place by a few plastic clips. These clips secure the housing to the surrounding trim for a tight fit. The housing is clipped on the side of the dashboard as well. Take a plastic trim tool or a flathead screwdriver and gently pry that clip open. Once it releases, the housing will start to loosen and you will be able to slide it out. Grab the housing firmly and pull it straight towards you until the clips disengage. Move slowly and be gentle here. There are wiring harnesses behind the housing and pulling too hard can damage the connectors. At the top, you will see the glove box light. This light is designed a little differently. It does not use a typical one-piece connector. Instead, it has 2 separate wires that slide directly onto the bulb's metal terminals. It's easier to remove the entire light assembly instead of trying to disconnect each wire individually. Just press the light downward and it will pop right out of its holder. Set it aside so it does not get in your way. You will also notice that the housing is hooked and clipped into the side trim near the passenger door. To release it, push the housing inward while gently pulling the side trim outward. You will feel the clip release. Then lift the housing to unhook it from the side trim. At this point, the housing is almost free, but it's still connected to the glove box light switch at the bottom. Before pulling the housing out completely, disconnect the switch. Press the small release tab on the connector and pull it straight off. Once the connector is removed, the housing is fully free and you can lift it out of the vehicle. With the glove box housing removed, You can now easily access the mode control actuator, which sits just above the blend door actuator. This is the part number for the mode control actuator. If you want to replace the actuator, you will have to start by disconnecting the electrical connector attached to the actuator. Press down on the locking tab and pull the connector straight out. Do not twist or pull on the wires. Now you can remove the mode control actuator. It is held in place by plastic clips or tabs on all 4 sides. You'll have to press those tabs one by one while gently pulling the actuator outward. Once all the tabs release, the actuator will slide straight off the mounting surface. Keep in mind that this actuator is very tightly seated and it will be a challenge to release those tabs. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to EaseJoin for more DIY automotive videos. Thanks for watching.